there's two ways to look at this. Okay, I think the one way is that Top Rank have now got a broadcaster. They're going to put shows on again, which, by the way, is just that is a good thing, regardless of what you of who you like in the promoting sense. It's good that those fighters that are under contract will actually be platformed. Do we think DAZN have done that because they really wanted Top Rank and they wanted to work with Bob Arum, who we know is seemingly a bit annoying to work with at times? Or are DAZN doing that to push back against Netflix, who have kind of come in and taken some of the biggest events that should, well, a year ago would have been DAZN events?
Yeah.
So,
listen, we look at DAZN's biggest. Yeah, I mean, DAZN are dealing with a big beast in Netflix. Netflix are a big beast, even though their background isn't sports or combat sports. They're just that big that they can go, you know what? I'm gonna take this show, I'm gonna take that show, and we're gonna put it on Netflix.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as a paying fan, what's a DAZN subscription? About 20 quid a month?
24. I think I paid 24. Yeah.
24 quid a month. Yeah, go and pay $7.99 or $8.99 with Netflix.
Yeah, and Netflix got better fights at the moment as well. That's the problem.
And this is the issue. You know, I mean, will we see Netflix prices go up once they start realizing how much money they can make from the boxing, and then they want to make more? That kind of is a general route, but yeah, no, DAZN got a big issue on the hand right now because they could lose a lot of fights. But at the moment, they've got the main promoters signed with them. I mean, getting Queensbury was massive, by the way.
Yeah.
Because Queensbury historically were always, well, they were TNT for a long time.
BT Sport, TNT, yeah, that's where they were with. And then DAZN managed to pull them away. Obviously, started with Matchroom. Really, DAZN, the only ones that DAZN don't have, at least under like an exclusive capacity, are sort of MVP, but they do get MVP shows. PBC, they don't really get. And then obviously Zuffa.
MVP is smart though. I'll tell you why. Because you look at it like this, like they've put their card on April the 5th.
Yeah.
That card wouldn't make sense to put on DAZN and wouldn't make sense because I don't think they would get a massive outreach. But putting it on Sky, mad smart. Yeah. So I think MVP will have a multi-deal thing across with different promoters. I think the UK fights, they could steal that space that Sky said that they weren't going to be in anymore.
Yeah.
And go with Sky Sports, which I think is a massive kick in the teeth for Ben because, look, again, respect to Ben because he's another British promoter who works very hard, but he's got a task on his hands. And, Sky come out and said, we're not doing boxing anymore. You're the last one. And then they go and agree this. It's just a one-show deal at the moment with MVP. Obviously, we represented at the press conference for MVP when the fight was announced, or the fighters were announced in the UK, and they had Dubois, Cameron, Emma Dolan, Ellie Scottney on there, Caroline Dubois, Terry Harper, and they were all there, and Sky was there broadcasting, and you just get the feeling that Sky. When Sky's involved with boxing, it's different. Like you have to go to like a presser to understand it, but Sky have to be involved with boxing. But yeah, no. Going back to the point, DAZN they've got a massive task on their hands because I think Netflix are going to take a lot of them this year. Personally,
yeah, I think so. I think DAZN will be left. Basically, whatever Netflix don't want is what DAZN will get. And they need to sort of change that. Because as much as I don't know, look, the fact is DAZN will not be happy that Tyson Fury is fighting Makhmedov on a Netflix card, and they won't be happy that AJ versus Jake Paul was on a Netflix card. They won't be happy Canelo Crawford was on Netflix. You know, this is
the thing is though, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's bids that go out for broadcasting.
Yeah,
so DAZN, the only way DAZN would have lost that is if they couldn't match what they were doing. And if they can't match what Netflix are doing, then that's something you need to look at internally. You can't be annoyed at the boxers for it.
But I think we already know they cannot match Netflix.
But this is the thing. It's like the fighters are in there at the end of the day. The fighters are the brand, right? So when I look at someone like Joshua, the DAZN need Joshua for their show to be big. If they're doing a card fitted around Joshua, right? Not specifically, they need Joshua to be big. The DAZN are huge. But if you're doing a card where Joshua's the main event, you're going to make a lot of money. Yeah. If you put Ajit Kabale on that card, you're not going to make a lot of money as a main event. You see the difference
in comparison, definitely. Yeah.
So, and Joshua, and with the Joshua and Jake Paul fight, Jake Paul was putting it on MVP, and they put it on Netflix. It was a most valuable promotions event. It wasn't an Eddie Hearn event. So, and Jake Paul offered him that near enough. I think it was 70 or 80 million. It's mad though, because he only actually walked out of about 40 million after tax. But I think he would have known that when he took the deal, which is why it can seem like he's getting paid a lot. But when you're getting half of it taken off you, you think if he'd have fought for 40 million, how much of that would have been taxed, and then how much would he have walked out with?
He still would have been taxed. He would have been in the highest tax bracket at 40 million.
No, but that's what I'm saying to you. So
also,
half of that.
Also, 40 million quid is 40 million quid. Like, let's not pretend.
No, but I'm saying
I know what you're saying.
If the bottom line, so he got paid 80 million for that fight, but he realistically got 40 million because of tax, right?
Right.
If the bottom line is 40 million and not 80 million, he's not getting 40 million after tax, after he's paid his fees to his promoters, after he's paid all of this.
Oh, okay.
You see where I'm coming from?
Okay, I understand.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So they I think he probably knew that when he took it, but like at the end of the day, like there's purse bids for the promoters to want to promote the event. There's also bids for that. So yeah.
I think the worry will be if Netflix want contracts with people. At the moment, they only want single fights. They are picking and choosing what they take. It's when Netflix potentially decide, and we've heard about them wanting sport for a long time. It's only recently they've actually started doing it. But it's if Netflix go, do you know what? Matchroom, Queensberry, let's have all your fights. Let's just have it all. That's when DAZN could really be in trouble, because, well, that's when they will lose out in comparison. They will. Matchroom and Queensberry are quite loyal. Matchroom with Sky Sports for a long time. Queensberry with TNT. So potentially your DAZN will have the benefit of loyalty, but a promoter is going to choose a way of making the most money for his fighters every day of the week. So if you're blown out the water by that, no promoter in the world is able to justify not picking them on the higher money option. So do we think Top Rank are back?
No,
I agree.
I think that if you look at like I don't know, like if you look like I compared Top Rank here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I compared Top Rank to like bottom of the barrel, like pauper level promoters now. I know respectfully they're a big promotion, but as a fan, in terms of what I'm seeing and then what I'm hearing the fighters are getting paid, Teofimo Lopez was with Top Rank, right?
Yep. Still, I think
go look how much money this guy's earned from his fights. As an undisputed world champion and all of these sorts of things, I'd be going mental. What? Terence Crawford laughing at one point said, "You ain't even earned 3 million from boxing. It's crazy." Like, so Top Rank, obviously Bob Arum's a legendary promoter, but every dog. What's to say? Every dog's got their day in it.
Yeah, his day is done. As the promoters go, Bob Arum is not. He's not up there anymore. But Top Rank do have good fighters still. They've still got Xander Zayas. They've still got Abdullah Mason. They have Michaela Mayer, sort of the most recent of them.
Give Abdullah Mason another year, and he's with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, he'll be with Eddie or Zuffa or whoever. He'll go.
I think he'll be with Eddie Hearn. I'll be honest with you, because I think Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren is great. You know, historically has been great with building up the UK fighters profiles. But in terms of UK promoters, Eddie Hearn's really the biggest that's gone over there
He's
and actually done bits for the American fighters. Like, you know,
he's probably the biggest in America now.
He's got Shakur, like, in a deal.
He's got Shakur, he's got Boots, he's got Bam.
Yeah.
Andy Cruz is still a big name, even though
if I'm Abdullah Mason and I'm looking at that, and you're talking about 3 or 4 of the biggest names in boxing in America right now,
you should pick
it's a no-brainer. Like, what you go with De La Hoya, you get tied up into a contract that you can't get out.
Don't go with De La Hoya. That's the worst decision.
And you go to Bob Arum, and you don't get, you know, Shakur Stevenson had inactivity with Top Rank. You don't want to, but what Eddie Hearn would do, and with every fighter that he's got signed, is that he brings them regular fights.
Eddie gets you the best fights as well. So if you're serious about getting in there with the best, Eddie Hearn will deliver that. We saw Shakur at Top Rank screaming for better fights, and we were sat here rightfully questioning: is that the promoter or is that Shakur? Shakur under Eddie Hearn, Zepeda and Lopez. You know.
If you talk to me about Shakur now, since he's joined Eddie Hearn, I say I always knew how good he was as a boxer, but what I'm trying to say is, and I said this, and I can't run away from it because I said it, and I did believe it at one point. I weren't seeing Shakur Stevenson in there with Top Rank with opponents that made me think, you're in pound for pound top 10. I know you're good. I know you're very good, extremely good. But the fights you're having are not making sense. Since he's joined Eddie Hearn, you know, Eddie Hearn's elevated his profile with the fights that he's got.